How to ace your next job or promotion interview. Okay. Now, when I was designing this session, I had multiple ways on going about it. My biggest barrier in designing this session was I didn't know who my participants were. I didn't know where they are coming from. At what level are they going to sit through this session and what is the gain out of it? So I have designed a session which is neutral. It can fit in any of the channels. And before we move ahead, allow me to share one more link which will help me understand that where my participants who are attending this session, where are they coming from? And seeing the question, you will realize what I mean. Okay, I'm just adding the link out here. Oops. Okay, my bad. Here you go. Again, this is a link that is accessible both over the phone as well as your laptop. Now, if you notice this question tells you that which majority do we have in this group so that it allows me to address this topic accordingly. So I'm going to go on the fly. I'm going to be quite dynamic, but the topics remain same. What does differ is the examples and the case scenarios that we would apply it for. So which majority do we have in this group? Okay. So looking and waiting to promoted are people who are currently at jobs, who are full-time employed and looking for that promotion. Coming back to work from sabbatical or break could be a motherhood journey. It could, you've just taken a break from work and you are resuming back. New joiners are people who are entering the workforce for the first time, irrespective of the age, but you're just looking to get a gear up. Self-employed and entrepreneur are people who are handling their own business or generating work for themselves. So I belong to the self-employed and the entrepreneur group. Okay, so let's have a majority. If I see the group leaving me, we have 16 people. I have only 6 responses. Going to give another 30-45 seconds for others to log in as well. So I see we've got a majority for 5 and we've got a majority who are saying looking or waiting to be promoted, and we are looking at participants who are coming back from sabbatical or break. We've also got people in the other categories. Don't worry, this session is that much more useful for you. Okay, we have tips, tricks, hacks for everyone out here. All right, you can continue to participate. We've understood what the majority is. Let's shift back to the presentation and give me a second. I am a one-woman show right now, and here we go. Okay. Having said that, just putting it out there, these are 4 titles I am proud to have. These are titles I have helped created for myself, and it's taken a lot of effort. It's taken a lot of pains to even, own these titles. When I say pains, difficulties, barriers, a lot of things coming in way, but I'm glad that at this stage I'm a proud owner of these 4 titles. These define me in professional capacity. All right, moving ahead. First question, shape the narrative of your career break. There are a few points. This is just a reference slide. The actual information and sharing is going to happen what is between us right now, okay? Sharing your or narrating your career break. Can anyone unmute and just say, what do you understand by the headline? What do you think it means? Narrative of your career break.
Hi, Sherin. This is Suprita here.
Yes, Suprita.
Yeah, so shape the narrative of your career break is there should be some reason, for why you're taking a break. There's some because most of us working for quite some time, we wouldn't go for taking breaks. But in order to take a break, there should be a reason which really, you shouldn't repent for taking break, and that should have a genuine reason behind that. Yeah.
I think that's an absolutely beautiful answer, saying that, what you've shared with us. Thank you so much, Suprita. Can we have anyone else who would like to share?
building a convincing reason when attending an
Absolutely.
interview.
Yes, Devi, absolutely correct. Having a convincing reason. And why is the word shape there? Because how we position it is how the interviewer is going to see. How we position it is how the person who's going to give that promotion, our managers, our interviewers, our clients are going to see us, right? The whole power depends on us. What I put in my resume is what they are going to understand. That's the biggest barrier I see people not trying to address. Everyone is busy copying a resume template. Everyone is so busy saying that I have to highlight only my strengths, I have to highlight only my achievements. Absolutely not. A career break could mean for multiple reasons. What you have to show is that during that break, how have you upskilled yourself? For example, let me just go to a very extreme end. If I have taken a career break because a family member of mine is extremely unwell and they are hospitalized and they need 24/7 monitoring, and I cannot manage work and my personal commitments, I take a break. When I come back, how do I explain myself? Should I act the victim? Do you think acting a victim will help me out here?
No.
No.
Acting a victim will not help me out here. Absolutely correct. But on that resume, on that piece of document, in this conversation that I have with the person who's sitting opposite of me, irrespective of who that is, whether it's the CEO of company, whether it's the manager, whether it's the recruiter, or whether it's even a client of mine, what I'm going to say is, of course, put the story on the table, saying that there was a reason for me missing out of action, being MIA, missing in action. I wasn't there. But trust me, during that period, I learned something very important. I learned the skill of empathy. Every phase of life, we are observant, we learn and pick up new skills. A lot of times where we actually lack is pinpointing what those skills are. So if you're in a situation where you were taking care of someone, where you were being wholeheartedly selfless and devoting your time and attention to that person, you've developed a very, very important skill, which is a skill of empathy. Do you know corporates today are craving to hire somebody with an empathetic mind, with an empathetic thought process? And empathy is a skill that is required very highly today. So you have to learn on how you shape it. The whole power depends on you. Step out of your comfort zone. Today, I know, okay, my problems have gone down a little. I am now gearing up to coming back to the workspace. I am now gearing back to take more projects. Should I go immediately and start getting clients or start attending interviews? I will suggest no. Add another 1 month's gap out there. And this 1 month is your conscious effort where you're going to step out of your comfort zone. Do some additional courses. Talk to people and understand what is happening out there, because you've lost touch with everything. Acquire new skills and get your story right. What is getting your story right? You don't want to play the victim card in front of anybody, right? Learn how to position yourself where it acts in your opportunity, where it acts in your favor. So my suggestion is, if, okay, I know, okay, everything is going to be settled by March end. Should I start applying for work from April? Absolutely no. I'm saying take the April additional, but that's your conscious effort, is when you will be able to do all of these things. Okay. That is when that 30 days period will allow you to reflect. Yes, people are more who are capable, adaptable, agile, can do it in 30 days or less. But at an average, I see a 1 month's additional gap allows a person to transition. You also have to be of the mindset, yes, now I'm ready to do something. You cannot sit in front of the interview and say, oh, but you said 9 to 2, but I can work only 12 to 3. tab wo karoge to you're losing out on opportunities, right? And I've heard people do this. Even I do hiring, even I do recruitment, not only for my brand but for other brands as well. I hear the weirdest reasons possible that people could offer. Pandemic has allowed another level of complex dimension to it. But we finally look at a person who is adaptable, who's agile, who's flexible, right? Even companies like an HSBC, Deloitte, Amazon, TCS look for these skills. The resume matters, but what matters is when they meet you and understand you. So take that gap, apply your life skill. The biggest life skill you should use is the power of reflection. Think back. You took a break. How have you evolved? How are you now getting your energy back? How are you presenting the new you? It's all about the new you. Value your experience that you gained in that break. And brand yourself with social media. Of course, today you know the power of social media. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a corporate, whether you're a new joinee, irrespective of the 4 categories, the first and the most important platform you should work on is LinkedIn. Okay, don't do fancy, don't get scared. It is very intimidating, but just start engaging with other people's account. Start connecting with people. Start sharing a few thoughts about it, because today every person who is hiring, including, people do background check on me using my LinkedIn. So they want to say, what kind of person am I going to engage with? What kind of person am I going to bring inside my organization or my brand? So instead of worrying, oh, I need to do a dancing reel and, mujhe Facebook pe 4 cheezein dalni hai and wo karna hai. Stop complexing things. Simplify it. Go to LinkedIn, see some examples. You see a lot of people share stories. You all are part of sales mentoring. If not, you will be, because now you've signed up for this. You've exposed yourself to that community. I urge you to go back and check what Chitra posts. I urge you to go back and check what I post. We don't do too many complex stuff. Chitra is a sales evangelist. She talks only about that. She's written post where she talks about, there's this post I really like, Chitra, the one with your daughter. She sells with the tiny she, if I remember the title correctly.
Yeah.
Chitra is nothing but narrating her life story. If you go check out my thing, I will narrate my version of my professional story, what I've experienced, what I've gone through. That's all you have to do. Don't be, of course, open and go on a rant. That's not the advice I'm giving here. But I'm saying LinkedIn is a beautiful platform to voice out, to start showcasing, to start being present. That 1 month's break is where you need to use this. I will get a job, then I will think of LinkedIn. Social media doesn't matter. It doesn't come in use. Agreed. I agree to everything. But you need to showcase yourself somewhere, right? Better start with LinkedIn. Are you all with me? Are you all liking the flow of the session at this point? Is something I would like to check with you all. Are we good? Any questions for me till here based on the information that I've shared? All good? Okay. Moving ahead. So this was part 1. Okay. Moving ahead, write a resume that sells. You finally want to present that document which gives a detailed insight about you, which is honest, and which impresses the person reading about it. So the way I have positioned my introduction, when Chitra read out, I know it left an impression on her mind, and it has left an impression on all those who've heard it out as well. It is not boasting. If you see, it has been written very strategically. These are my qualifications. I have done these. And you have to put focus points. Focal points are nothing but numbers and names that will catch attention. Now, I know when I come to this group, the numbers matter. But tomorrow, the other group that I'm addressing, my certifications will matter. The client names will matter. Okay, so you cannot have one resume for all kind of job positions. Do your research. Before coming here, I again went through saleswoman training. I again thought back, okay, who are the people who attend these sessions? Even though I've attended a few sessions, I had to reflect back. That is why that first Mentimeter came in place, to understand who we have in the group. That's how I can shape my narrative of, delivering this training today. So write a resume that sells. Write a resume which is skill focused. Now this skill, the good news is not technical skills. Yes, it does consist of technical skills, but it also consists of your behavioral skills, empathy, understanding, creativity, problem solving, critical thinking, logical thinking, communication, agility, adaptability, flexibility. All these are your skills. That is where that 1 month is to reflect and write a resume that sells. Let me tell you a little secret about myself. I might, my introduction seems, oh, too much of work and everything. But I've also been rejected out of client offers. I have not got projects. You know why? Sorry, Sherin, because you don't have 5 years of experience. I have total working experience of 2 years, 8 months kind of a scenario. I started working officially after my graduation in June 2019. So I've not even completed full 3 years and I've got rejected. They're saying, oh, wow, you've done so many things. You are so great. The conversations are fine. Everything is fine. But the only thing they're rejecting me is for the experience, which on paper needs to be 5 years. I said, listen, I work with some really nice. Okay. I work with coaches who have won Silicon Valley awards. Yes, my capacity in working and collaborating with them is different, but I have very high skills that I have worked developing 24/7. No, sorry, our company policy is 5 years. Then I should not be feeling bad. I should be telling them thank you and move on. Because for a place that is so fixed on not understanding a person who is not able to go beyond that one policy or one rule and cannot see my skills, I will not fit there. And this is my one main messaging to all of you all. Stop trying to fit in. Stand out in a crowd. My own parents are very confused on what all I do, by the way, because I do multiple things. I'm experimenting, exploring, sab chal raha hai idhar. But then they know, okay, she's, reached a stage jahan pe cheeze ho rahi hai. People are impressed by me, but I know the pain and effort gone behind doing it. I have worked with brands like HSBC and Deloitte in partnership with different consulting groups. So, as a trainer, you can partner with consulting groups and they give you projects as well. So I have tried a lot of combinations. Some have worked, some have not. But now I've come to a conclusion. Let them focus on my skills. Let them know that I'm agile. Let them know I am good with tech. Let them know that I have high skills of active listening and I can do a LNA very properly, which are the terminologies for a trainer. So skill focused. Volunteer work. A lot of people miss out on this. Let me tell you all something. Even these sessions that you attend, it's, no sessions are about the money. Today, you've all signed up out here. You're gaining something, like Chitra mentioned, Ophelia is one of the older members, I would say, not oldest, but she's been a member who's been attending regularly, right? So Ophelia, tomorrow when you create your biodata portfolio or this, you should proudly, sorry of my wrong English, but proudly mention that you've attended these topics. Okay, it's not just attending, but you can actually write, okay, by attending so-and-so session by saleswoman training, I have gained these knowledge or these highlights from there. Every session that is being organized, not just for saleswoman training, whether it is a Udemy course tomorrow or a YouTube taken. Nobody is coming and asking, oh, did you pay 1 lakh for the course? Then I will value you. Nobody cares. My mother made me do engineering, saying, beta, the engineering degree makes a difference. Till day, no one has asked for it. Okay. So nobody comes and asks you what is the cost and price you have put out there. start mentioning your volunteer work. Volunteer work is, of course, what you do. And of course, in this online space, what you attend as well. Okay, you choose to sit through different webinars, workshops, people invite you, maybe you're a guest speaker, panelist. There's so many combinations existing out there, right? You have to be smart on how you position it. Now, Sales Mentoring has a great tagline of saying India's first sales community. So when something is the first, it has that much of weightage and importance. And Chitra has worked very hard in building this community. I've been, in fact, just like FYI, just like a smile and a joke also. So for this session, I was booked last year. And I was thinking, pata nahi hoga, nahi hoga, I really don't know. Chitra found me on LinkedIn. She called, she asked me, will you do this? That time I said yes. And today we are 1 year later. This session is not planned 1 week before, 2 days before, or even 2 months, almost a year back. So for me, in my profile also, I'm going to mention this. Hey, did a great workshop for sales mentoring. Today, you can go and mention it saying that, hey, attended a great session on job interview. These are the skills that I have learned. So what it shows, your break has been utilized effectively. You have been involved. And whatever projects or different scenarios that you've been involved in, learn to mention it properly. Okay. Mention the experience that fits the role. I'm not going to elaborate on it. It's the same explanation and same narration of what I said, like I came as a trainer for this session. So my introduction is this. Tomorrow morning, I have a training with some other group and other set of people. My introduction will change a little. Introduction changing is not changing the details or the truth of it, but the language and the way it is presented. Okay, that's how I would position it. Any questions for me out here? Anybody who would like to share anything? Sri Devi says lovely handshaking background.
Hello, Shubha here, Sherin. I would
Yes,
like to share that whatever roadmap I have planned, it's in line with your training, and I'm happy for that. Thank you for encouraging me.
Most welcome. That's so happy to hear. I think whole telepathy is going out, going on here. So good to hear that. Yes, Ankita, you raised your hand. Please say.
My question is, you said be unique. Okay. I am unique and my resume is unique. But the thing I face a problem is that whenever my resume goes through for an interview screening, they don't have, I don't fit into the keywords that they require. So more than 90% of the time, I get a beautiful answer saying that we have seen yours, but unfortunately, or we'll get back to you. Each company's wordings are so beautiful. Now I've started laughing, okay, I've started learning the language they're using. But now that being unique is like kicking me back, not able to get back into the saddle, kind of thing.
Okay, so Sangeeta, allow me to help you out here and allow me to offer you a very simple solution. So Sangeeta, I'm sure you are unique. The work you do, the profile of yours is very unique. But as you correctly mentioned, keywords play an important role. And with the rise of technology, today recruiters and HRs also have softwares at their disposal which scans resume. It's not like a person is going to scan through all the documents. So whatever gets filtered from that software, then is when they pay their attention to it. And maybe not even then, maybe the junior pays attention, then junior does a filtering, then it goes to the senior person. So Sangeeta, by the time you pick up the skill of keywording and everything, why don't you find a specialist who can present your resume like that? Okay, now hear me out. It might be an investment in the first go. Okay, but after the first go, the only thing you can keep changing is the why do I fit for this role? Okay, that's the only paragraph you can work on changing. But let a person who is experienced in writing resume do the resume for you, so that you don't lose on opportunities because of technology. Okay, here it is absolutely not you're at fault, or now I'm sure it at the back of your mind it might also start affecting you negatively. So why don't you find this right person who can help you make that resume for you? It is a one-time investment. Be a very good negotiator. If not, Chitra is here to help learn those tricks from her. But having said that, literally there'll be one paragraph based on the industry or the organization you're trying to apply. Just change that paragraph and make sure you ask the editable file for them. Don't say ki they'll give you in PDF. Okay, so be smart about that response. So Sangeeta, I hope this response helps you to get the opportunity you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay,
I never thought it in that way. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. Most welcome. Yes, Sugandhi, please go ahead.
How many pages the resume have? Earlier, I have a one-page resume. After I enrolled myself and on community, and I have attended a lot of resume review, they have given me a format. Now it's my resume is 3 pages.
Okay.
Okay to have 3 pages, or I make it a cut short.
Okay, so Sugandhi, let me personally ask you, are you self-employed or are you looking to go?
No, I'm a working professional.
You're a working professional. Okay, and how many years of working experience?
More than a decade experience. Nearly it's coming to 11 years.
Right. So Sugandhi, because you come with a decade of experience, your profile can actually be between 3 to 4 pages, because one, you have to write down everything, right? Today you're eligible for a senior leadership position or a senior managerial position based on which organization you're going. Now, if they don't see that experience narrated for them, how will they be able to judge you saying, okay, Sugandhi is a great fit for this role? अगर वहां पे आप कंजूसी करोगे, या if you start writing in small, you will leave them with a lot of, oh, you know what, I think she's not fit for the role because she doesn't have so and so experience. And later when they converse with you, Arey, we never saw this on your resume. And you're like, oh, somebody advised me to write only 1 page. So coming with your years of experience, you should have good 3 to 4 pages listing down your achievements, your roles, responsibilities, and things like that. And of course, highlighting on the skills as well.
Thank you, sir.
I hope this answer helps you. Okay. Are resumes meant to be different for domestic and international jobs? Veena, if you are available, could you unmute and tell me what does domestic jobs mean?
Sherin, I meant like anything domestic companies. Like, I've always been working in India, and now I think I want to apply abroad. So is there any different formats for that? Like, I mean, should I be looking at something like what you said?
Okay. So see, today resume formats have gone a radical change. Just like we've all been through pandemic, we've survived, and we know the world as a new working world. Resumes also have gone a lot of changes. Today, people like looking at a creative resume. People like looking at, those skills highlighted. Today, if you go check on LinkedIn, which is the biggest open platform, you will see everyone says, oh, technical skill not required. Even I agree. You know why? Because a technical skill can be taught on the job. But your soft skills, which we never know why it's called soft, but your behavioral skills are the most important in defining you as a right candidate for a job. So the format and this you can do based on the company. I'm not commenting on that because that's a little more on a creative side. But today, if you're writing a resume, make sure your skills are highlighted. Share your narrative, share where you're coming from. If you believe in diversity and inclusion, tell them why you believe it. You know, yesterday I was doing this. I'm just going to stop share so that it allows us to see each other. Okay. Yesterday, so I have a team of interns who've joined in, and I'm, doing a series of training for them because I believe in empowering others. Don't hold on to knowledge because knowledge keeps changing. And unless you share, you also don't become good at it. So yesterday I was telling them, we were discussing something and diversity and inclusion came. So that's what I told them. Listen, D&I today, if you notice, is very highly associated with the LGBTQI community. Yes, it is mattered, but it is just one line and channel of it. Diversity and inclusion in the grassroots meaning of it. What is inclusion? Inclusion is nothing but creating a safe space where I am comfortable, confident in communicating my thoughts, ideas, and presenting my actions, and creating that same safe space for you all to participate. That is inclusion for me. And then we can, of course, keep dividing it and have whatever definitions we want. But that is what inclusion for me is. Today, if I make anyone uncomfortable in this call, I'm not being inclusive, because I'm not catering to you. I'm not listening to you. There's so many skills that go into the garbage. What is diversity? Diversity is nothing but a variety present in the group. Skin, color, name, culture, religion. It's okay to come from different backgrounds, but let's learn to celebrate it. Let that variety be the spice of life, is, if I would like to call it. It's okay to be from South India. It's okay to be from North India. It's okay to be from China. But there's so much value and that we bring to a call. I get to learn from you. You get to learn from me. That is what diversity means to me. Highlight that. Highlight that part. That is when you'll see that human to human connect. That is when you will see that connect happening before they get to interact with you. Okay. Before the interview actually gets scheduled, what goes to the recruiter? What goes to the client? Your proposal, your portfolio, your resume, your CV. Make it impressive. Own it. Make it you. And at the end of the session, I'll just display the document which I share as well, just to give you an idea on what I am presenting as a starting point or a reference point. Beena, I hope that helps you answer your question.
Thank you, Sherin.
Most welcome. All right. Let's go back to screen sharing. Okay. Oops. Let's not. I've put in a little effort out here. Update your personal style. Okay, update your personal style. What does it mean? Style does not mean clothing. Style does not mean fashion. Style, personal style includes a lot of things. Okay, and here is where I would also like to highlight what Chitra mentioned. Your Zoom background. If it's a virtual meeting, have a Zoom background. I have a variety of backgrounds in place. I thought to make this meeting interesting, I could use this backdrop. Of course, my lapses, I could add probably a small note somewhere saying Sherin Mathew, the Upskill studio or trainer. But having said that, let me just show one of my most common training backgrounds that I use. So for brainstorming sessions, I use this one. So from confusion to clarity, so this is one of the backgrounds that I like to use. And for training, this is something I use, which is like a simple office space with a tag with my name. But I just felt, and I had put this initially, but somehow I felt I should go with this one for this session. But if you're getting a chance to have a Zoom interview, you can show your creativity here. This is included in your personal style. It is not always about fashion, clothing, dressing, and things like that. Okay, moving ahead. Update your personal style. Now we have a personal style, but is it updated enough? Is it good enough to present to the opportunity that we are applying today? Okay, just hear me out. Updating does not mean changing. Okay, updating means, is it relevant to the opportunity that I'm presenting today? So dress consciously. Dress consciously. Don't turn up in a t-shirt. Don't turn up in one of the house clothes. Don't turn up with headphone wires hanging everywhere. Dress consciously. Take effort. Wash your hair, put some makeup, press your clothes, have your accessories ready, get your best foot forward. But be conscious about it. Plan for it. The break that you consciously took allows you to do all this. Everything you do in a hurry today is going to end up in a semi to a complete disaster. Create a great first impression. I'm very curious to know, what do you think, or how do you think you can create a impression? Your first impression, what is it about you that you can use?
A smile.
A smile, absolutely.
What smile else? With the right eye contact.
Smile with the right eye contact.
Well
very
dressed.
Good. Sorry, I missed it.
Well dressed.
Well dressed, very good.
And when we speak, we should have a confident.
We should be confident. Okay. Any more answers?
Energy and enthusiasm.
Energy and enthusiasm.
And we should avoid the unwanted movements, hand movements or something.
Okay. Unwanted hand movements. Somebody's written on the chat as perfect body language. Yes. I think I also heard focused right now, if I've heard it correctly.
Yes, Sherin.
Okay, perfect. Then I've heard correctly. So great first impression. Trust me, you don't get a lot of time to do all this. Maybe opening the door, I cannot show a lot of energy and enthusiasm. Take my example. I started, I was there in the session and then it built up. I didn't come with a lot of energy and disturbing. Everything has a momentum. Your body language will also be displayed when you perform it. So first impression, actually, and especially when you're going into a room, will depend on two things. One is your visual appearance, which is your clothes. And second is those first words that we utter. Okay. Going to the room, opening the door or sitting in a chair, I cannot widen my eyes and smile and then enter. I will fumble and fall and do things. It happens with me. And I'm sure that fumbling nature might come somewhere when you're trying to multitask all these things. Okay. So the first impression, what is it you can do and you'll not make a mistake? Greet a person. Your enthusiasm, your energy, your confidence, everything showcases in the greeting. So your visual appearance and the greeting you do. Hi, everyone. Good morning. So nice to meet you all. Thank you so much. So when you're speaking, you can do the other actions as well. Because if you're meeting somebody in person, you need to settle your bag. You have a resume in hand. You're handling yourself. So many things are in play. Okay. So that is the physical one. Walk with confidence. Absolutely, yes. And if it's an online thing, make sure you join in, you settle. There's no disturbance. You know how things work. Be familiar with the technology or the platform you're signing in. And the minute you're online, confirm, okay, can everyone hear my audio video? Perfect. And then again with the greeting. Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much. Energy, enthusiasm, confidence, everything shows. Now, Sridevi says walk with confidence. Not necessary that everyone will get a chance to do that walk. And virtual mein, how will you do the walk, right? So walk with confidence when the opportunity arises. And of course, punctuality also being a great first silent impression. Punctuality, again, we can't say or do much about it. Okay. Proper handshake, I have kept it because now people have started going back to it. It was not there for some time. A lot of people don't practice it, but in case you're in a position where the handshake is happening, don't forget to keep it firm and have a firm handshake. Do 1-2 pumps and then leave it. People say 3 pumps and all that. 3 pumps is nothing but 1, 2, 3. I feel it's a little long. So like a 1 or 1.5, 2-ish is good enough. And I'm not getting into the handshake part. Just make sure your hands are not sweaty. If you have very dry hands like I do, I make sure at least 15-20 minutes I put a little hand moisturizer and keep it supple and then go for a handshake. It does happen. One extra etiquette or an impression point. Handshake turant karne ke baad don't sanitize. Okay? It's okay, maybe under the table or a little later, but just be conscious not to touch your face or any area to avoid infection. But that just doesn't seem, what if that person takes offense? Okay, so that's an additional tip in this post-pandemic reason that I can say. Or be smart and strategic, handbag ke side pe just have a small that upside down sanitizer and do something, but don't make it an obvious action for them to be awkward about it. Your interview will start on an awkward note. Okay, good to go. Great tip. Did you all like the tip? Was it good? Nod your head, say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, going ahead. Chitra, I'm just going to quickly check with you. What is our hard stop? It's 6. Yeah, it's 6:65 if I'm not wrong.
I'm muted. I think another 10 minutes and then 1 or 2 questions we can take.
Okay, super. So proper body language, business attire, overall impressions, I think we've covered it in depth. I've just put it as separate points for you all. Okay, quickly, doesn't require rocket science knowledge. Practice your conversation skills. Could be with your partner, children, friends, community, WhatsApp messages, things like that. If you find nobody, then the best way is record yourself speaking. The mirror technique still exists where you see yourself speaking, but I always encourage do it via recording. So you know how you sound and how you look. Are you too conscious? Are you too scared? Are you smiling? Are you making eye contact? So record yourself while speaking. Don't overthink your follow-up. In case you've given an interview, in case you've approached a client, you've not heard back from them, do the follow-up. If you've still not heard back, do one more follow-up after a certain amount of gap. But after, maximum go up to 3 follow-ups. Then just keep it in the back of your mind or note it somewhere. At a later stage, you can do. Today, trust me, there are enough clients and enough opportunities for you to move ahead. Don't get stuck with somebody not responding. I have clients who've not responded. I have opportunities who have not yet called. It is there in the back of mind. At some point, 6 months, 1 year, I'll still reach out and see. But if it's a dead end, it's a dead end. I find a new road and travel ahead. Clear? That's how we go. So just all the skills for your reference. Okay. Conquer your interview anxiety. Very simple, very basic. Centering exercises. You can Google it up. Why we should do our centering exercises is to maintain the focus. A lot of us feel anxious before getting into this. Even I did a centering exercise. Even I did a power pose because I don't know what to expect. With every training, you don't know what to expect in the next 1 hour, 10 hours, 20 hours, whatever it is, right? So it helps you maintain the focus. It helps you reframe the nervous energy. So if you are somebody who gets a lot, very anxious, a lot of nervous energy gets built in, a centering exercise will help you. Some of the simplest centering exercises, nothing but deep breaths. Okay, that's the simplest of all. Or it could be just close your eye for 5 minutes, focus on a focal point. So Google it up, you will find references. Positive visualization. It means nothing except visualize that you are confidently doing something. So imagine, visualize you doing it in the best way possible, right? I have to go and interview. I have done no mistakes, confidently sitting, smile. They said you've got the job. Positive visualization helps you diffuse your stress. It makes you relax, confidence. Empowering rituals, power poses. For women, the most common, in fact, it's gender neutral. Just put your hands on your hips and stand. Stand for exactly 90 seconds. You'll start feeling a difference. Do different warm-up silent exercises. You don't have to make a lot of noise about what you do. These are your personal practices. Trust me, we look all funny when doing it as well. Okay. So it is your in your privacy that you do these rituals. My ritual, what I do, and I know it's going to come on the recording, while brushing my teeth, I have one hand on my kamar, because that's all the time I get to do a half a power pose to get through the day. So to power through the day, I do half a power pose and then move ahead, because I also get affected. I also need my energy. I also need to have my rituals that support me. And smile. Fake it till you make it. What does it mean? Keep smiling till that smile affects you positively. Please don't take any other meaning. In empowering ritual, there is a few vocal exercises so that your voice does not shiver and your vocal cords, the confidence when you converse becomes stronger. Straw bubbles is nothing. हम एक straw पानी में और we basically just blow bubbles. So siren exercise is a video. I would just quickly show you. It's a 30-second clip. I will share the full video later on and you can take a note of it. Let's do it at the end of the session. Is that okay with everyone? Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Conquer your interview anxiety. I've gone crazy and I've put a lot of topics for y'all because I don't know what is applicable to whom. So my job is to give you these options. Pick out what you like. Is the pressure there to do everything? Absolutely no. As I said, I don't even sometimes in the mind frame or have the time to do a full power pose. I do half a power pose. I get it done. Change your perspective. Think you are interviewing the job. Be in a position of power and confidence. Any kind of activity you can take where you can create a template or a cheat sheet. Okay. Stop method. Stop is something I'll just show you all right now. Very simple to understand. I'll let you all know. Mindfulness, meditation, be calm, be present. These are some options for you all. Okay. This is what the stop method says. Stop what you're doing and focus. Take a few deep breaths so that it calms you. Observe what is going with your body, emotions, and why you're feeling them. And proceed with an intention to incorporate what you observe in your actions. So this is the stop method. Very simple, very easy. It is not my framework. This framework is given by another executive coach who's goes by the name of Chris Sharek. So this is his framework. I have found it and I'm presenting it to you all. Start practicing the stop method so that you're ready to go ahead. All right. Okay. May I move forward, please? I see a few people taking notes. You all can simply take screenshots if it helps you all. And also, I trust the recording will come your way. So you will have it in your disposal. Okay. Moving ahead, and we are pretty close to it. Oops. I just clicked. Okay. The last but not the least, imposter syndrome. Okay, a terminology which is in trend. Okay, it's not a disease. It's not any kind of bimari, any default, any genetic problem, any DNA problem. No, it's just a behavioral trait which people go through. Okay, I've not put anything on the slide, just pictures, and I'm sure you relate with them. We have people telling us, oh, but you're not who you are. We don't feel confident on who we are. We feel we are pretending to be somebody. We position ourselves in a very different way. And finally, the whole thing of fakeism comes in place. I feel so fake about it. That is what imposter means. It's literally what it says, imposter syndrome. Is it something that can be cured? It's not a curable thing. And I hope this slide will explain it to you all. We all undergo it. What differs is the percentage. Also, this is not like a proper research data. If you actually read through it, it's more at a humor level to tell you that, hey, you're not affected by it. Everyone is. Only thing we understand and position it differently. A quick example, and the example comes because it happened with me day before yesterday.
I want to just butt in here.
Yes.
I just want to add something. I wanted to add something here.
Please go ahead, Chitra. Please go ahead.
Sorry to cut in, but I want to add something here because I feel so strongly about the imposter. One interesting statistic is that women feel more. Are you all able to hear me?
Yes, your video is a little stuck, but we're able to hear you.
Okay, so I've switched off the video.
Yeah.
Is it clearer now?
Yes, it's better.
Okay, so on imposter, sorry to butt in. I jumped in because this is something which I feel strongly about, that women feel more of the imposter syndrome than men. And a very interesting statistic is that when women apply for an interview, they do not apply for the job or the promotion until they tick off 100% of the qualification criteria, whereas the same position a man would apply if he met 60% of the qualifying criteria. That shows that men have quite confident, and they are very they have a very inflated opinion, I would say, about themselves, whereas women need to. So the imposter syndrome seems to strike women more, but the good it diminishes. I don't feel like an imposter anymore. So the good news for all of you is, as you grow older and acquire more expertise and more qualifications and experience, I am sure the imposter will become lesser and lesser. Maybe she won't go away completely, but or she or he or whoever the imposter is. I mean, I don't know the gender, but it will become less. So back to you. Back to you, Sherin.
So absolutely, the research and the data that Chitra just shared, that women unfortunately are hit more harder, more strongly by the imposter syndrome, is because mostly all of us are women. I cannot say everyone, but I'm sure you can vouch for it. There's so many different stages, cycles, environmental factors we go through. So this is just a slide for you, letting you know, hey, you're not in it alone. Even I face it. A quick share because it happened 2 days back. And surprisingly, it came on the day when Chitra put about, okay, ask me your doubts, and price objection was one of the key topics that was coming in. So this lady, there was a requirement for a training program in Hyderabad. There was a training program, and I called her because it was a lead on a WhatsApp group. So I spoke to her and all. Cutting the story short, so she asked me, okay, how much do you charge and everything? So I gave her, see, this is my basic price range in which I begin my training per hour, or if it is multiple sessions. That lady made me feel so low and demeaned on that call, because you know what she said? Oh, but Sherin, you know what? We have the best of best trainers on board who come with 20 plus years of experience, and we pay them 1,000 rupees per hour. She said that 1,000 rupees per hour. Okay. So then she said, okay, but because you don't come with so much experience, we would like to try your profile out with campus to corporate programs. I was like, okay. Let's give it a try. But she told me upfront, please understand, we cannot pay you that. For an 8-hour program, we can pay you around 3,000 rupees, which brings per hour rate at 375 rupees. That is what she told me. And my face became so small, and she's continuously harping, you know what, I've got this best lady trainer who's 2 decades and award winning, and she trains a C-suite, which is a leadership level, at the same rate. Now, I really didn't know at this situation who I should feel bad for. And the company name, she said, our clients are Sony, Amazon, TCS, Accenture. And I definitely know for a fact Accenture pays very good packages for training. And she's saying, you understand now, business development cost is so high. But you cannot pay somebody 1,000 rupees, and especially with a 20-year-old experience. And my credentials are correct. So I didn't, at that point, I got so dejected, and I felt like an imposter because she made me feel like one. And I was wondering, who should I feel bad for? The person who's accepting that contract, the person who's giving that contract, because exploitation is happening everywhere in that whole circle. I said, thank God I'm going to stay. She said, please send your resume to keep in our database. I said, please, मुझे आपके database में रहना ही नहीं है. So I was like, no, thank you. I know my worth. I know my value. And this is a conversation now I have in my head and not with her. I thought, sorry, I can work with projects who value me better and where I do a good job at it. So imposter syndrome can hit you anytime, can hit you at any place. And that day was my happy day because I was closing clients for March as well. And this one weird situation happened. So it gets triggered. So be aware about it. Be more aware about it. Go read about it. Information is very simply put online. You'll get access to it. Okay. Some of the learning outcomes that we did today. Throughout these conversations, I hope I've been able to address these things. If not directly in words, this is what it means. Remember your potential, know your strengths and weaknesses, understand your work environment, which is more towards analytical and research skills. Adapt your strengths for today's fast-paced work and position them accordingly.